Welcome to Headingley for the Stones Bitter League Championship game between Leeds and Oldham. The fight at the top of the league for the championship is hotting up now as we come to the end of the season, but it's turning out to be a two-horse race between Wigan and Leeds. Wigan with the advantage in points, but I've no doubt that Leeds will fight right to the bitter end to hang on to the championship and try to wrest it from Wigan's grasp. The Leeds team for tonight is at number 1 Cook, 2 Fallon, 3 Iro, 4 Innes, Cummins, Schofield, Holroyd, and in the pack Harmon, Vasilikopoulos, Howard, Mercer and Fine Marlowe. And the sub is Schultz and Ontar. In the centre of the field, getting ready to start the game, are the two captains, Hanley and Crompton. Hanley being very paternal as he led out to the two mascots for Leeds and the Oldham side, Gibson, Bell, Topping, Neil, Jones, Garthland and Crompton. In the pack, Sherratt, Clark, Timo, Lord, Fine Marlowe and Bradbury. Kuwiti and Richards subs for Oldham in this match tonight. A very important game for Leeds. Holroyd then for Leeds. Leeds playing from left to right, and no doubt that Oldham, having lost in the semi-final of the Cup, will be fighting as hard as Leeds for a place in the top 8. And as I said, Leeds battling to stay in the championship race with Wigan. Tate, missing from the Leeds side tonight, has been replaced by Cook. And here we go then for the start of what should be a great game. Oldham with the first touch of the ball, a little juggle, a good follow-up, Iro going in hard along with Fallon. Clark, the distributor, Hooker for Oldham. Leeds will try to pin them down here. I've no doubt there'll be a really tough battle between these forwards, and Fine Marlowe, 2 Fine Marlows, 1 on each side, will probably be sorting each other out in these early stages as Crompton trying to get the Oldham side moving, and Oldham fighting the way forward in the first set of 6 tackles. Clark onto Crompton, Crompton turning it back inside, and it is hard graft in these early stages as Oldham force the way up to the halfway line. Crompton spreading it out wide, and there comes the kick through behind the defence. Francis Cummins, who's a real flyer on the wing, cutting inside. Met by Timo, puts him down. Leeds keeping it tight at the moment as he settle themselves down, try to get the way out of their own 20-metre, out of the danger area. Vasilikopoulos is at hooker tonight, and I've no doubt that he will be taking up the role of the acting half-back, and it's Vasilikopoulos now from behind to play the ball, trying to get them moving. As Howard, using his weight and his strength, taking on the Oldham forwards. Hanley standing up in an offside position close to the play of the ball, a habit of his. Schofield trying to get the backs moving. And Bradbury coming in well. Now it's Hanley from behind the play of the ball. Hanley, little dummy from behind the play of the ball. He's so hard to hold. And there he is, a man for all seasons, a man of many parts. Puts in a really good sound tactical kick, pushing Oldham back to the 30-metre line. It will be Oldham with a feed. And 99% certain Oldham to get possession. I was surprised the other week when I saw a referee give a penalty for feeding. Holroyd then, a long wide pass. Schofield stretching them across the field there. And that's a bad mistake, a bad elementary mistake, a knock on under no pressure at all. And that will give the ball back to Oldham, and Oldham with a chance of another 6. As Crompton comes over, Crompton, who's having a great season after he left Wigan, he's doing extremely well with the Oldham side. With a manoeuvring for position in the front row as Crompton gets it out. And the ball's tight as Schofield comes along to help out Hanley with the tackling. Hanley breaking up very quickly from the scrum. Bradbury crashing his way forward. Clark from behind the play the ball onto Crompton. Crompton seems to be taking it first pass, deciding what the tactics are going to be. Clark again. Once more it's Crompton. Crompton turning it back, keeping it tight in the forwards. Garrett crashing his way forward onto Lord. Lord running crossfield, trying to pass his way over the 20-metre line. Oldham with plenty possessions. It comes out to Crompton. Crompton, a little grubber kick, which is dangerous in the in-goal area, and he couldn't get the ball down. And he touched good points. Ball not grounded properly. That was a dangerous moment there as Cook and Fallon tried to stop that movement, but Oldham knocked the ball into touch and goal, and so it's Vasilakopoulos with the tap from the 20-metre line, and strong running, ball getting it out well. That's good play by Leeds, keeping it alive. Good hard strong straight running by Cummins out on the wing, and the defence in the tackle. Wanted to take it quickly, and then they changed their mind. First it was Schofield, now it's Holroyd, who left-footed bangs it down the field and into touch. Good hard straight running by Harmon, doing the prop forward job, sucking in the defenders. And once again, Oldham foolishly giving away penalties in the tattle. Rubbed his face a little bit there, I think, gave him a little bit of a massage. And a word of caution. Topping, being read the riot act. The referee said keep your hands off his face, and it will be Holroyd to put it into touch once more. 2 penalties, matter of seconds there. Vasilakopoulos using the dummy runner, turned inside by Howard. Mercer trying to force his way forward, disappears under the red and white jerseys of Oldham, old-fashioned type jersey. Vasilakopoulos out onto Fine Marlow, big hefty mountain of a man, taking him on, showing him his weight. Long pass, Schofield doing the run around. Bad pass by Schofield, he has to go back, it rolled along the deck there, and that caused Oldham to lose a lot of position. Cook running beautifully from behind to play the ball. Hanley taking them on. Hanley seeking to get the record number of tries for a forward. He's wanting 41. Hey, a long time ago managed to get the 40. Schofield holding it, puts in a grubber kick, and it comes nice and sweetly out to Jones out on the left wing. Sharrett brings a man onto it. Fine Marlow coming in hard into the tattle. Oldham clearing the lines well. Schofield going in to help Hanley with the tackling. Crompton moving it right across the field, and there comes a kick from Gartland, a long deep kick. Fallon has it covered, quite happy to let it roll into touch and bring it back to the 10-metre line, where it will be Holroyd to field a scrum. Game heading back and forth, no side really established any superiority so far in these opening minutes. Holroyd to feed, in it goes. Fallon joining in, running across his own post, being forced down to the ground by Jones and Gartland. Arrow so strong and so elusive, great run by Arrow, clears the 20-metre line. Big strong run by the beast. These Leeds forwards coming charging away, battering the way down the field. Leeds moving it across the field onto Howard. Howard up to the halfway line. Schofield showing them the ball, a long wide pass out. No way through for the Mercer. Comes on to Cook. Cook dancing and jinking, still on his feet, having a job getting him down. A change of direction and a high kick by Holroyd. He's following it up well. Gibson's underneath it, and Gibson takes it classical style, turned his back, to the tackler, ball safe in his pocket as he cleared the 20-metre line, and that's a good clearing run from a hard, difficult position. Clark moving it inside onto Crompton. Crompton hands it on. Leeds having no difficulty really holding these attackers as the ball goes out from Topping. Long pass again from Crompton. Leeds up in the line out as the ball, Jones is brought back inside. Good tapping by the Leeds stand-off, puts him down. Kick through behind Cook in his own in goal area. He'll do well if he gets out into the field of play, and he does very well indeed. Gains an awful lot of ground. The kick and chase were very well done by Oldham. But Cook brought the ball out well from the danger zone, and now it's Jim Fallon. Fallon putting his shoulder in, runs into Bradbury. Now it's Leeds' turn to try and force the way forward, trying to suck in the defenders and then spread it out. Schofield, a long wide pass. Mercer in one of those curving runs of it. Ennis streaking down the field. Bringing Cummins inside. Cummins tearing down the field. Has Hanley with him on the inside. Going on his own. And that's a lovely run there by Cummins. Hanley with him as ever. Hanley, of course, will be looking for this try today. But that was a lovely time pass. Mercer going out wide. Gets it out onto Ennis. Ennis holds it, and he holds it right till the very final second. Bringing Cummins inside. And Cummins, who's such a flyer, streaks down the field. You can see Hanley with him there on the inside, but Cummins is strong enough and fast enough and determined enough to finish on his own, to go over underneath the post to make it 4 points to 0 to Leeds. Holroyd makes it into 6, so 6-0 lead for Leeds. And, one feels that eventually they will run away with this game. A stronger team, Oldham, just on the periphery of the top 8, fighting hard to get in there so they get into the playoffs. But Leeds will be looking for 2 home games in the playoff at least before the final, and Oldham to restart. Ball dropped loose on the floor. The referee will give the scrum down. Crompton with the double advantage gets it out. Long wide pass out to Garthland. Garthland trying to force his way through, but he's easily stopped in his tracks as Hanley comes away quickly from the pack to help Schofield. And now Oldham using brute force as Gibson comes up to act in half back, close to the line, trying to batter his way over, a metre out from the line. Clark, the hooker, out to Crompton. Crompton, the long pass out, stretching them. Bradbury trying to drops the ball. The referee will give the knock on. Little bit of over eagerness there by Bradbury. Hammering away at the Leeds line. All right. Referee not happy with the front row and the difficulty getting their heads in. All right to Fallon. Oldham ran too quickly at the scrum and the penalty. Bit of relief there. Holroyd coming up from the 10-metre line, bangs it into touch. Gets them out of the danger area, and chance for Leeds to mount another attack. Cap taken, big men charging into Garthland, scattering him out of the way. Across the field, and this is hard, tough, rugged stuff at the moment. A lot of hard tackling going on. Miss out Hanley, the ball spread wide across the field, and And Oldham giving as good as they're getting at the moment. They're tackling hard, they're playing the guts out. Out onto Cummins on the wing, Cummins streaking down the far side, and a lovely tackle by Gibson stops him in his stride and shoves him over the touch line, and Crompton gives him an appreciative pat on the head there, because Cummins is no mean wingman, and that was an extremely good tackle there to stop Leeds in the stride. Cummins scorching down the wing, and Gibson coming across well, takes him, pushes him over the touch line. Crompton with it, moving it inside onto Gartland. Gartland onto his wingman Bell, who's hard and tough and strong, a little bit like Jason Robinson in his attacking clearing play. Now it's Topping's turn to gain this few metres of ground. Ball tight at the moment. The Leeds defenders in quickly. Howard coming in well with Mercer. Clark, Crompton trying to get them moving, but there's no way through with Schofield. And Feinmaler hang on to the man. Crompton switching the direction of play, and here comes the kick behind the defenders. Cook having to go back for it. Shepherds it over the dead ball line. Very speculative kick. Giving possession back to Leeds on their own 20-metre line. Jim Fallon going wide, turns his back into the defender. That's what it comes. Fine Marlowe using his weight, and he has some weight. Once again, it's the big men coming battering their way through like great big tanks. Gaining no ground at all there as the defenders getting on top, and once again Hanley standing right at the side of the play of the ball. They've got a 5 metre start there, a good 5 metre start as Rollroyd belts it into touch, a good strong tactical kick, a couple of metres from the corner flag, so they come back to the 10-metre line to scrum down. Once again it will be Crompton to put the ball in. Forwards in no hurry to form this scrum as they amble back. It's tough out there tonight. It's been hard grafting work by the forwards as Crompton puts it in. Jones trying to link up, coming inside, doesn't get very far. Gartland passing it on onto Crompton. Crompton moving across field. Innes is in. Bell gains his 10 metres from behind the play of the ball. Clark, short pass. Oldham keeping it tight round the rocks at the moment. Now it's Crompton's turn, belting the ball down the field. Covered by Cook and by Fallon. Cook with it on his own 9, running it out. Faced by defenders, gets away from 2 of them, and eventually they come over and 3 of them bundle him down. Leeds then, near their own 9. Vasilakopoulos throws a pass in, and Schofield looked as if he was in deep meditation there. Got the shock of his life when that ball came to him. Now it's Mercer doing the hard work, cleared the donkey work, clearing the lines, bringing it down away from their own try line. Harmon, big strong forward, big front row they have, the 2 big props for Leeds. Hanley trying to side his way through. Gartland moves in on him. Now it's Schofield, puts a little kick in, and that's a good kick. Very sound tactical kicker of the ball. And once more Oldham are pushed back into their own territory, having to go back to their own 20-metre line. Nearly on the half hour then, Crompton gets the ball out onto Gartland, to Jones, who's cut inside. Jones trying to force his way over. Bounced down by Kevin Iro. Putting a lot of effort, a lot of commitment into this game, Oldham. Very much the underdogs, and really only 2 teams in this league at the moment, Wigan and Leeds, fighting it out up at the top there fighting for supremacy. Leeds beaten Wigan once, and Wigan beaten Leeds once, so it's tight at the top of the table. Kevin Iro coming in. Clark from behind to play the ball. Crompton putting the kick in. Leeds quite happy for it to roll into touch. Holroyd, Sharrett having a bit of trouble getting down as Holroyd feeds the scrum onto Fallon. Fallon running wide across the field. Oh, he nearly had his head taken off there as he was snaffled from behind. Moving it out wide, trying to get it out to the left wing. Kevin Iro lets the ball go. The referee bringing them back. Crompton to feed for Oldham. Out to Garthland. Garthland holding it. Neil coming in, takes possession of it, comes out onto Topping. Topping clearing the 20-metre line, driving over the Leeds try line. Crompton turning it back inside. Leeds battering away at Oldham, battering away towards the Leeds line. Radby held just short. They're good at attacking position here for Oldham. Can they only be able to get over the line at last time? The ball's been dropped. Elementary mistake, over eagerness. Chance there, they've hammered away to the line, and it's Holroyd to feed the scrum. Moves it out onto Cook. Cook running well. Being turned inside. Hangs onto the ball for dear life as Schofield comes up. Schofield moving it out well. Fine Marlowe looking for support, and the support is there. Leeds in possession. Mercer and Oldham coming in quickly, and they can't put him down, and that's determined running by Mercer. A little bit of argy-bargy at the play the ball, and referee calming them down, lying on at the play the ball, giving the penalty to Leeds, and Holroyd bangs it into it. Oldham conceded a lot of penalties at the play the ball. Strong running there by Howard. Howard has been shaken. Another penalty. Referee having a word. Is he going to threaten the sin bin? Holroyd. Chance to bang it into touch and shove Oldham further back. Vasilakopoulos coming up to the 20-metre line. Turns it inside. Forwards clash like rutting stakes as they go banging into each other. Short one onto Howard. Howard sends a very loose pass out, which gives the ball to Bradbury. Not a well-timed pass. Oldham trying to fight the way out of the own danger area. Topping moves it inside. The ball stuffed up the jumpers as Schofield comes in along with Fine Marlowe. Topping from behind to play the ball to Crompton. Crompton hands it on, lets the forwards do the graft. Garthland moves it inside onto Crompton. Little dummy from Crompton looking for support. Onto Gibson. Gibson running wide. Gibson bringing his wingman inside. As he gets the ball, he's met and buried just over the halfway line. Oldham now trying to mount an attack. Ball straight through to Cummings on the wing. Cummings coming inside. There's line of defenders there, bury him. Cook having to come up to act in half back as Leeds regroup. Cook, a good run by Cook, and he's broken through. A great run by Cook. He turns it inside. Leeds tearing for the line here. Hanley's with him. Hanley's been missed. The ball's gone astray, and it's Cook. Cook who's going to score. Cook who sends it up, and Cook goes over for another try for Leeds. Well, that was a great run down the left wing by Cook. Turned the ball inside well. Holroyd was there. Hanley was there as ever, backing up in the right place. Not a particularly good pass inside. Goes behind Hanley. The ball rolls along the deck. Picked up cleanly by Cook. Cook hands off one and goes hard and determinedly for the line to bang it over. Simple kick right in front of the post for Holroyd. And over it goes. 26 minutes gone. 12 points to nil to Leeds. Leeds getting right on top at the moment. So Leeds marching on. Can't see Oldham giving them this amount of start and catching them up in spite of all the effort that they're putting into the game. Gartland to restart. Awkward rolling ball. Schofield misses it. Taken by Fallon in the in-goal area. Fallon running across the face of his post. Bangs off two, bangs off three. He's a big strong lad, is Jim Fallon. And there's a dive over the top there. The referee won't be happy with Clark for that. Clark going to the sin bin for 10 minutes. When Fallon was on the deck, Clark came flying in over the top. Crompton moving it wide. Hanley broken from the scrum along with Marlowe. Bradbury out to Crompton moving it along the line. Oldham coming hard and straight into it. Vasilakopoulos tackling well. Now it's Crompton running it out. Crompton going over the halfway line, keeping the ball moving. Innes goes in, trying to force them over the touchline. He managed to stay in play. Whipped inside. Crompton moving it across the line. Oldham playing well here, coming determinedly at the defenders. But Hanley coming in, takes him low and takes him safely. Crompton now, little overhead kick. Dangerous one there as Cook goes back. Cook manages to stay Iro onto Fallon. Fallon coming inside. Fallon turning and twisting, proving extremely difficult to put down. A good run by Fallon, but eventually runs into Sharrett and has to dive with the ball. Vasilakopoulos getting it out. Schofield, a long wide ball out onto the left wing. Cummins coming inside again. Cummins streaking down the field. He has Hanley with him. Cummins is going on a lovely dummy. And another try, a great try by Cummins. And once again Hanley was there waiting for his 41st, but he couldn't get it. As Francis Cummins goes over, great run by Innes, and it brought him in very well. His timing was perfect. Lovely mover, very athletic. Dummy given out to Hanley, used him well, had support on the inside with Holroyd, but he saw the line and he knew he had the speed and he had the determination. And Cummins goes over, banging underneath the post, make an easy one for Holroyd. Well, Hanley's striving hard there. He's been in the right position at the right time all the way through this first half. The ball just not coming to him. Holroyd then right in front of the post, and that's 18 points to nil to Leeds. Comfortable lead now for Leeds. And Gartland getting plenty of practice at kicking off. Oldham right on top. Leeds right on top of Oldham. Referee holding the game up. Awkward bouncing, rolling ball. Kick back. Has come onto the field as a substitute. Out again to Innes. Innes having a good afternoon. Gets it back onto Mercer. Mercer's unceremoniously dumped down. Vasilakopoulos. And Schultz is on. Schultz moving it across. And there's an easy try for Holroyd. Schultz made an impression early doors, battered his way forward. Missing out Hanley. Driving in, sucking in the defenders, keeping the ball alive well. Leeds making it look so easy as Holroyd scoops in underneath the post. All the time in the world, and once again Hanley is at the side of him, but Holroyd determined that he's going to be the one to put the ball down, and Holroyd with another simple kick, and that's 24 on the board for Leeds. 24 points to Oldham's 0, and only once have Oldham really looked like putting pressure on the Leeds line, and then they made a very bad knock on and made a right pass. 24 points to nil. And the ball took safely up on him. Had a job putting him down. Vasilakopoulos up to Schultz, puts his head down, charges forward. Vasilakopoulos to Mercer. Mercer on another of those curving runs, straightens up, runs into Crompton, has to dive with it. Schofield from behind the play of the ball, little dummy, moving it out. Ball gets out. It's on the wing, but the cover goes across, and touch judges on, another offence in the tackle. Vasilakopoulos pointing to Oldham. The old-headed Schofield going over to calm the situation down as the Leeds cut back inside. Referee having a word with his touch judge, right in front of the touch judge, in a good position to see what went on. Crompton pleading innocence or asking for mercy. Referee decides he's going to give the penalty, and Holroyd will bang it into the touch. Vasilakopoulos to restart with the tap. Howard taking 3 of them on, but still can't get him down as the ball comes inside onto Fine-Marlow. Fine-Marlow battering his way. Schofield changing direction, long lob pass out onto Innes. Innes dumbing his way and a beautifully determined run. Nice pass from Schofield. Innes coming hard onto the ball, takes it over, leaving Holroyd with a difficult attempt at goal. 28 points to 0 now. There's Schofield holding it. Beautifully timed pass out to Innes. Innes strong hand off, jumping out to Cummins. Goes hard and straight for the line and in at the corner. A good try by Craig Innes, who's been having a good evening this evening. That's 6 minutes to go to half time. Goal kick failed. 28 points to 0. Gartland Awkward bouncing ball for Schofield, turns it inside onto Mercer. Mercer holding it one-handed, showing it to them. Poor play the ball. Vasilikopoulos did well to tidy that one up. Wasn't a well played ball. Schultz puts his head down, almost through, can't get rid of it. Pressure being piled on by Leeds now as Schofield sends a long ball out wide, turned inside nicely. Leeds keeping the ball alive well as Marlow goes charging forward. He's got Schultz on his inside, onto Hanley, and Hanley's caught from behind by Neil. Hanley nearly got his much wanted try there, and there's mauling and messing about going on in the tackle, hanging on to Hanley. Leeds wanted to get on with it quickly. They decide they're going to take a tap penalty, and the referee holds them up. He wants to get the last offence sorted out. Leeds were wanting to get on with it, and because of the hold-up, Hanley has a word with Holroyd, and they decide that instead they're going to have a go for goal. And Neil has got 10 minutes in the sin bin for lying on Hanley there. Professional foul right near his own line. He wouldn't let Hanley get up, so Neil, almost on half-time, has to go to the sin bin, and a simple kick for Holroyd. Could be his 5th goal of this half. Leeds with 5 tries behind them. Holroyd comes up and makes it 30 points to 0. 5 tries, 5 goals to Leeds as we come up to the halfway mark. Leeds 30, Oldham 0. And Leeds will be well satisfied with this as we come up to the halfway. Gartland. Oldham with 12 men then after that foul. Mercer clearing the lines. And Oldham struggling at the moment as Cummins comes turning in size, having a very good game is Cummins. Schultz trying to batter his way forward and knocked down to the ground. Leeds well on top at this period of the game as the ball bounces onto Marlow. Marlow can't slip the ball. He turns his back on the opposition. Vasilikopoulos, a long pass out to Schofield. Schofield, another long pass, moving it out onto Iro. Iro onto Innes. Innes onto Cummins. Cummins coming inside, meets the defence. Thompson coming in across well, and a bit of a fracas there right on half-time. Teams pile into each other. There's still a lot of feeling in this game, although there's 30 points between the teams. There's not a lot of love lost between them as they go off for half-time with a score Leeds 30, Oldham 0. Leeds then with what one would presume is an unassailable lead of 30 points to 0 as Oldham prepare to kick off in this second half, making a present of early possession to Leeds. Schultz running wide. Vasilakopoulos. Ball been dropped. Not a good move there. Ball a little bit behind him, a little bit inaccurate that pass. Mercer will be none too happy, missing that. Crompton in a good attacking position, moving it across onto Gartland. Gartland puts his head down, tries to drive forward. Bradbury moving it out wide, Crompton handing it on. Gibson going hard for the line, 10 metres out. Oldham piling on the pressure in these early minutes as Jones now charges forward, held a couple of metres short. Clark from behind the play the ball, does a little switch onto Bradbury, and it's Bradbury who's over. No, the referee, yes, the referee gives it. He hesitated, he looked over to his touch judges, and I think it was Bradbury. Clark did a switch, gave a dummy, and it was number 8, Bradbury, who went over to get the try, the first try for Oldham. 3 minutes gone in this second half. Sharrett, I beg your pardon, it's Sharrett who's number 8. Sharrett, the prop forward, battered his way over after a nice move by Clark there. Goal kick not successful, so it's 30 points to 4 as Oldham, after the restart, fighting the way forward. They've not surrendered the farm yet. Clark worked very hard this afternoon. 10 minutes in the sin bin earlier on. Crompton now bringing it away from the play the ball, and Oldham coming hard and straight onto it. Clark again onto Crompton. Crompton putting a high up and under in, and Cooks there takes it beautifully under a lot of pressure. That was a great take. Hanley back in support. Hanley moving it across the onto Jim Fallon. Fallon running hard and straight. Eventually goes down to a good hard low tackle. Cummings from behind the play the ball, running it inside. Good run by Cummings. There's enough to give his team time to regroup. Vasilakopoulos onto Schultz. Schultz driving hard and straight, buried by the Oldham defenders. Vasilakopoulos moving it out onto Schofield. Schofield a long wide pass onto Innes, and Innes is buried almost on the halfway line. Vasilakopoulos, that's Hanley close to him, misses Hanley out. Holroyd puts in a long high kick, well taken by Gibson at full back. Gibson's handling been very sure, and that's good following up by Schultz, takes him well, being run out by Jones. Good strong run by Jones as the Oldham players are ambling back, and Jones is being mauled and messed about there in the tattle. Clark puts his shoulder in, runs into the defenders. Crompton makes a bit of a mess of that. The ball goes backwards. Referee says play on. Oldham hanging on to the 6 tattles as Crompton brings it away well down this wing, turns it inside onto Topping. Topping going hard for the line, hands it on, but they're going to be brought back. The referee decides the pass to Topping was forward, and they're going to have to come back a long way. That was a nice break by Oldham. Unfortunately, pass to Topping was forward, and Topping was coming hard onto the ball. All right to feed. Pack not straight, buckling a bit in the front rows. Big men there, Sharrett against Harmon. 2 hefty hunks of men as Holroyd moves it across the field. Good running by Cummings, who leaked in the stand-off position. Schofield sending Innes further out. Innes long pass out to Fallon. Fallon having a dance inside, hanging on to Fallon, trying to skull drag him and pull him round. He's staying on his feet, and that's good hard tackling. Came in very quickly there, snuffing out the Leeds attack. Oldham moving up fast, trying to pin Leeds down. Long passes stretching them. Schofield, who's so good at that. And there's Iro, so powerful and strong and determined. Throws them off, managed to get his passing out onto Schofield. Schofield out onto Cummins. Cummins handing them off. But the cover comes across to take it. That's for the Coppolos. Bit of a nerve, he shoves Hanley out of the way. Schofield, another long pass. Gaps there as Holroyd goes trying to turn through. Schofield puts a little kick in towards the corner and it rolls into touch a couple of metres from the corner flag before anyone can get to it. Scrum down then on the 10-metre line with Crompton to feed. Finger their heads because Crompton has the ball. Crompton, short one inside, hold it tight there. 12 metres out in the danger area. Crompton keeping the ball moving well. That's good play by Oldham as they brought the ball away from their own 20-metre areas and still on the feet. That's great running. Tremendous running by Oldham. Topping coming up to the play of the ball. On to Crompton. Crompton trying to spread the ball across the field. A gap appears. Oldham keeping the ball moving well. This is good attacking by Oldham as Jones comes tearing along. The support on the inside. Can't get it through to Neil and the ball rolls in over the touchline. The referee stopping the clock, giving a penalty, or suggesting a knee went in. Players seem to be a little bit baffled as to what's being given, but it's a scrum down and it must have been kneed over the touchline by a Leeds player. Crompton puts it in and Crompton gets it out. Heads on to Jones, who's linked up into the middle between the scrum half and the standoff. And it's Oldham on attack now as they spread the ball, and that's not a particularly good pass as Crompton does well to take it. Ball whipped inside. Marlow batting his way, he's going so strongly, he's up again and he bounces up and Marlow is over. Strong run by Marlow. Came from a nothing, did well to take it, did Crompton. Whipped it out the other way. Onto Marlow, two of them on the field today. And he gets out of one tackle, gets out of a tackle by two other players, bounces on the ground, bounces up, puts his head down and charges like an enraged bull for the try line. And that's another try. Gartland then. 30 points to 8 as Gartland prepares to take this. And over it goes, 30 points to 10. Leeds not as determined seeming in the early stages of the second half, as Oldham have replied with 2 tries and nothing from Leeds so far in this half. Leeds 30. Oldham 10. Long deep kick deep into Oldham territory. Jones running it out. Clark moves it inside. Ball's tight with the forward, keeping it close in the play of the ball. Clark again. Crompton. Now Crompton tries to get the moving, but it's only one pass and then head down and back as Mercer and Hanley come into the tattle. Crompton handing it on. Now they're trying to get the ball moving. Better players, they take it over the halfway line. Strong run from Craig Richards. Come on as a substitute. Now it's all Oldham at the moment, and that's a very speculative kick there. Wild kick, not very clever. Rolls over the dead ball and gives possession back to Leeds as they take the tap on the 20-metre line. Richards coming into the tackle, big strong forward. Mercer again, like an arc, he bends round and then he straightens up and he's taken by Crompton and Topping. Vasilakopoulos moves it inside and it's head down and bash up to the halfway line. Once again, Vasilakopoulos coming up to the play of the ball, coming away, bringing it away on his own, against 10 metres of ground, and he swung round and down. Cummins coming into the game, and the ball goes loose and comes to Hanley. Hanley trying to cut through, turning it inside onto Schofield. Schofield dancing and jinking, loses the ball as he goes down. And Mercer none too happy with friend Schofield as he dropped the ball there in the tackle, but he was tackled heavily and he landed hard on the ground, and that probably winded him, and that caused him to lose possession. Leeds mounting the attack. Ball out to Leeds. Iro, Schofield in with Hanley. A bit of a dummy at the play of the ball. Caused no problems as Innes comes in, swings his man down. The opposite number, Neil, he took him quite cleanly. Oldham still giving it all they've got as Innes comes in along with Hanlett into the tackle. Clark, long pass out to Crompton. Crompton trying to move it across onto Craig Richards. He's lost the ball, dives on it again. The referee will give the knock on. So it should be possession back to Leeds. All right. Leeds back three, a bit slow at getting in. Pack space in the touch lines. All right, feeds, it comes out quickly. Moves it across, Schofield hanging it onto Iro. Iro knocking them off. Gets up again as his feet are taken from under him. He's so strong, this Kevin Iro. Goes tearing down the field onto Cummins, and Cummins loses his footing. Craig Innes from behind the play of the ball. Moves it inside. Schofield handing it onto Mercer. Mercer puts his shoulder in. Vasilakopoulos waiting behind the play of the ball. Schofield handing it on. Leeds driving relentlessly forward. Strong hand off by Mercer, trying to drive his way, gains precious yards forward. Schofield moving it out onto Holroyd. Holroyd to Innes, loose ball on the floor, still rolling about, and it's Hanley who managed to get hold of it, but the referee gives the knock on. Come down, advantage to Oldham. Bit of loose play by Leeds. Crompton getting possession back. Gibson trying to come through, Cook handing on to him. Gartland dancing and jinking from behind the play of the ball, managed to get his pass in, but Leeds around them like bees round a jam pot, and Cook pushing him forward, but the ball slipped. The referee must have shouted held. What's he going to give? He'd probably give a scrum, I would think. Yes, he gives the scrum down. Cook had hold of his man and he was pushing him back, and he let the ball go, and the referee must have shouted held, and he's given the advantage to Oldham, to Leeds. Holroyd puts it in onto Schofield. Schofield, a long pass onto Iro. Iro hands one up. Iro still going inside, looking for support onto Innes. Innes bringing Cummins inside, and Cummins swung round and down on the 20-metre line. Innes waiting behind the play of the ball. Moves it inside onto Hanley. Hanley straightening, that's a strong hand off. Swung down and round, and he can't get away from them. Vasilakopoulos coming over now. Onto Schofield. Schofield onto Iro, and they're not going to hold Iro from that distance out. He just ambles over. He's so big and so strong, extremely difficult to pull down. Schofield timed his pass very nicely, and that was a very strong handoff by Kevin Iro as he went down to bang the ball down for Leeds' first try in the second half. 34 points to 10 then as Holroyd setting this up, and make it into 36. Leeds running away with this game. Ball right on the 20 metre. Just in Leeds then from the kick-off, from the restart inside their own 20-metre area. Big men doing the line clearance. Vasilakopoulos, long pass by Schofield, moving it out right. Nicely turned inside, Faimalo keeping the ball alive, onto Iro out to Jim Fallon sidestepping inside, dancing his way out to Tattle. He's going to be swung round and over the touchline, whips the ball back inside, rolling along on the floor, and that's not a good effort there. Referee's going to give the knock on, and there's a rather upset Harmon, couldn't pick it up cleanly. Jim Fallon being forced over the touchline, flung it widely inside. The ball rolled and bobbed and bounced about all over the place. Harmon couldn't pick it up cleanly, and so the advantage will go to Oldham at this scrum. Crompton comes over. Crompton gets the ball out. Onto Crompton doing the run around, gets it out onto Neil going hard for the line, bringing it inside, onto Bell who's so strong, keeps the ball alive, it goes on to Gibson gumming his way, is surrounded by blue jerseys. Clark from behind the play, the ball sends a long one out to Crompton moving it out wide, trying to batter the way over short of the line. Jones coming up to act in half-back, and he tries to bore his way through. Referee says he's on his back, and we'll come back for a 10-metre scrum. Metres out then from the Leeds line. Ball's taken by the loose forward. He's trying to batter his way over. He's going hard for the line, and he's held just a metre short. Crompton's wanting a quick play the ball. Very badly played. Crompton gets it moving, and the ball's been knocked on. Oldham penalised for offside. Right in front of the post, Crompton takes it onto Richards trying to batter his way through. Clark coming over, Clark sends a long pass out, Crompton spreading them, and Leeds come out very, very quickly to try and smother them. It's Clark again from behind to play the ball onto Crompton. Crompton going for the line, gets it onto Gibson, and Gibson snuffed out a metre from the line, but it's all Oldham at the moment as the hooker Clark rolls the ball back. It's loose on the floor, picked up by Richards. Richards gets the ball moving, and it's been dropped again. Ball loose, bobbing about, referee lets it go as it keeps Oldham keeping the ball moving. Gibson going hard for the line, and he's snuffed out right in front of the post. I think the referee's going to give a high tackle. Well, Oldham turning on the heat at the moment, but they just can't penetrate this defence. Going to be a penalty, I think, to Oldham. Just a yard short up from having a word with Schofield, who's not a dirty player. Gibson to take the tap. It's a tap. Moves it across. Crompton hands it on. Once again, it's head down and bash. Trying to belt the way over. Ball tight with the forwards. Clark coming over to act in half-back with a little switch and the dummy. Clark holding it, running wide, sends a long wide pass out onto Neil. Neil going hard for the line. Gibson out. And it's touched a yard from the corner flag, and we're going to have to scrum down once more. Oldham defence. Oldham testing out this Leeds defence, and the Leeds defence hanging in there, playing very, very strongly. Oldham way behind, but not giving in yet. On tar. Not on tar. Kuwiti on for Oldham in possession, having to fight the way out. Mercer doing a good job, whips the ball out onto Iro coming inside. Iro's still going, his feet taken from under him, he manages to get his pass in. Schofield hands it on, and it comes out to the wing, out onto Cummins, and Cummins sidestepping his way up, moving well. He's had a great evening, has Francis Cummins. Caught round the play the ball by Crompton. Leeds wanting another 6 tackles. Referee giving the scrum down and the foot in to Oldham. That's a bit surprising. Crompton was round there very smart. He just to play the ball. Looks as if a hand went in to knock the ball down. But the Crompton to put the ball. Tidiness in the back of the meet. Crompton gets it out onto Bell. Bell changing direction, taking him on, running into the defenders, and runs into Howard and Mercer. Crompton spreading it across the field, trying to get it out to the Jones wing. Iro covering back, stretches out a long arm, he managed to get the pass in, and they're going for the line, and they're held just inches short. But it's Oldham hot on attack once again. They've had a lot of pressure recently. Ball being held onto the loose forward. Loose forward finishes off the move very well, and it's Bradbury who goes over. To make it 36-14. We're backing up there by the loose forward, been off for a while, been substituted, come back on, and the now score is now 36 points to 14. A lot of pressure coming on from Oldham. They've fought very hard this half, being absolutely hammered in the first half. It was 30 points to 0 at half time. Now it's 36-14, so they have given as good as they've got, and even better in this second half. Compton then to feed the scrum from the kick. Oldham hanging on to the ball as Holroyd comes into the tassel along with Hanley. Powerful running by Richmond, coming very, very hard, managed to get his pass and it's beautifully taken, nice handling, but over the touchline he has to go. And he's not happy, isn't Bell, having half words with the touch gun. Trying to calm him down, he's full of fire, he's full of determination. And Bell runs extremely well. Scored well against Wigan in the semi-final of the Silk Cup Challenge Cup. Some great tries. Referee trying to calm him down. He is all fired up with a great deal of determination in his play. That's a pat from Bell for the referee. Couldn't stop the referee penalising him, and Howard was charging forward. Vasilakopoulos moving it inside for the prop. Harman having a go. Working hard, these two prop forwards of Leeds. Ontar has come on the field for Leeds. Substituting. I think it may be Schofield who's gone off. A job pulling Iro down. He managed to get the pass in onto Fallon. Fallon taking him on. Fallon still struggling his way forward. It's taken 3 men to bury him. Booker, Vasilakopoulos trying to battle his way to the line. Switch of direction. Ontar puts a little grubber kick in. It's in the in-goal area. and it's Gibson who's there first to run it over the dead ball line. So it's a drop out from underneath the post, and another 6 tackles probably coming up for Leeds. In the last quarter of this game now, as Oldham come to drop out from underneath their own sticks. Crompton belts a long one, nicely taken by Cummings. Cummings trying to force his way through, and one arm catches him, and down he has to go. Howard is met by stout defenders. To Mercer. Mercer dragged back towards his own line. Oldham sticking to it as Cook hands it on onto Ontar. Ontar whips it back to Cook. Richards is in. Back to Ontar. Ontar, what's he done? Goes down in the last tackle. Allroyd hoists a high one, coming out to Jones on the wing. He doesn't take it cleanly. The ball's loose, been snapped up by Leeds. Referee will bring them back, will knock on. And it's on the last tackle, so it's a handover. Oldham bringing it away from 10 metres out. With tackling, snuffs out the move, out to Crompton. Crompton coming hard on it. Good run by Crompton, nicely turned back inside. Clark. Waiting for the play of the ball. Clark inside, onto Lord. Lord coming strongly onto it. Clark again from the play of the ball. Gartland hands it on. Leeds defenders coming quickly. Hanley coming up into the defence. Crompton dummying to give it inside, keeping it moving. Good running, good backing up by Oldham. Ball turned inside. Into the 20-metre area, still hanging on to it. Neil going for the line, and Neil scores underneath the post. Good running by Neil, good handling. A lot of players handled that ball as Gartland came away. He was well backed up, turned it inside. There was plenty of support for him. Turning and twisting. Neil coming along the correct side. It comes back again. Neil nipping in quickly there, coming hard onto it and fast. Hanley couldn't get to him, and Neil goes over underneath the post. At 6 minutes from full time, Gartland bangs it over, and it's 36 points to 20. So in this half, Leeds have managed to put on an extra 6 points, and Oldham have put on 20. So Oldham can be fairly well pleased with the performance in this second half, although they took a hammering in the first 40 minutes. Leeds to restart then. 16 points ahead as we come into the dying minutes of this game. Result now a foregone conclusion, but Oldham still sticking to the task, still hammering away, trying to get more points on the board. It must be very hard when you're so far behind. Quick play the ball. Crompton has had a very busy afternoon, done a lot of work. Gibson has been most effective. No wonder Oldham are fighting for a top 8 place. Still coming hard and strong up to the halfway line. Gartland moves inside to Crompton. Crompton hangs it on to Cowitti. Clark to Crompton. Crompton putting little overhead kick. That could be dangerous. Jim Fallon's there. Knocks him back. It comes to Cook. Cook running it out. Referee giving the knock on. That was an awkward bouncing ball, but Jim Fallon, all he could do was knock it back, and it was even more difficult for Cook. So it's come down with Oldham in a good attacking position, and Oldham with the feed. Oldham done well in this second half, and they've got more possession. It comes out to Gartland. Gartland holding it, running back inside, and Holroyd takes him. Holroyd having moved out to stand-off half, and Patrick Lontar having gone to scrum half. Oldham head down and bash forward, and it's still Oldham on the attack as They switch direction, Compton switch direction and trying to hammer the way over. Innes coming in, trying to push them back. Clark doing the run around, doesn't get the ball back as they try to bang the way over in front of the Leeds post, and Leeds hanging on by the fingernails here, trying to keep Oldham out. Crompton switching it back into the middle, and it's brute force as they try to fight the way over. On the last tattle, says the referee, as Crompton puts in a little grubber kick. Well taken by Cook. Cook running it out. Great run here by Cook. Streaking down the field. He's not going to get caught. They're chasing after him. This is a tremendous length of the field try. A great individual try by Cook from inside his own in-goal area. A tremendous try by Cook. On the last tattle, Crompton tried a little grubber kick into the in-goal area, and it was taken by Cook right on his own line. He turned, he twisted, he cut his way through, and Oldham was so intent on attack that the defence wasn't there. Jones chased him, and although Cook had the ball in his hand, which is a handicap, Jones could not get to him, and that was a wonderful chase down the field. Jones getting ever closer to him, but Cook has the legs, and over he goes in the corner. A great try for Cook. A good reward. He looks completely exhausted there as he goes over in the corner. That was over 100-yard try. That a tremendous, exciting try to please the crowd as we come towards the end of this game. Just a couple of minutes to go, and Holroyd with a long kick to take. 40 points on the board. Well, that's been a grandstand finish there by Cook. That was a real crowd pleaser. Holroyd's kick off the mark, and so as we come towards the end of this game, Leeds have scored 20 points in the second half, and Oldham have scored 20 points in the second half, so it's been a high scoring second half. Leeds 40, Oldham 20. Hartland. A high one. Oh, and that's a blunder right near the line. Bad mistake. There'll be a 10-metre scrum. I wonder how it'd feel if it was a vital finish to this game. Goes to where he's human. Crompton has it, been picked up by the loose forward who's trying to batter his way over. Scrum breaks quickly and smothers him. Gartland, Crompton, long pass from Crompton, spreading the ball out wide. Neil dumbing with it. Neil trying to come inside. Oldham finishing in a blaze of glory as they batter the way to the line, and Hanley's there to hold his man up. A foot short of the line, and they put the head down, and Leeds push Oldham back. Leeds determined that they're going to have no more points put against them. And once again it's head down and bash and over the touchline. And Leeds to put in. Hanley defending well there. Credit must go to Oldham for the way they've stuck to the guns against a better team, a superior team. Pack very untidy. Ontar to feed the scrum. Pack wheeling all over the place. The referee will order a re-scrum. Wheel around too far. Solidarity. Patrick Ontar. Pack's all over the place. And he's going to give Leeds the penalty. That's a lot of relief for them. They've had to defend hard on their own 10-metre line, and Holroyd makes no mistake as he takes the pressure off the Leeds defenders. Vasilakopoulos, short pass. Howard puts his shoulder in. Ball safe as Vasilakopoulos turns in again, and once more Mercer is driving forward. Ontar going to make a break, followed by Crompton. There's a knock-on, gives the president of the ball to Oldham. Oldham with a chance to turn defence into attack here as they go surging forward. But the blue defenders going hard, and Coity has to dive in. Gartland running through from acting half-back. Probably wishes he hadn't managed to get the ball back again. That was good supporting play. And Oldham once again force the way, they fight the way into the Leeds 20-metre area, run around between Gartland and Crompton. He doesn't give it back to Crompton, they do a dummy run, still just on the 20-metre line. Oldham still fighting for points as Crompton gives a short pass, going hard for the line. And there goes the hooter for full time for what has been an entertaining game. An exciting game, not so much in points, but we've seen some really great tries scored, and Leeds have turned out worthy winners by 40 points to 20.
It's a game both sides of the world have been waiting for. Australia and Great Britain about to come to blows in Sydney for the first time in 10 years. It's a one-off hit-and-run mission for the Lions. Their last victory in a test match in Sydney was 14 years ago, but in just 30 minutes' time, they have the chance to rewrite the record books. All the action coming to you live from Aussie Stadium, right here on Sky Sports.
Hallmark. TV with character.
Good morning.
No matter what kind of night you've had, let Hallmark liven up your day. With visits from Monk at 10.
Oh, God, Miss Rock, what time is it?
Judging Amy at 11.
Man, that's butt.
No, that's the law.
Diagnosis Murder at 12.
I hate to break up this Hallmark moment.
And a movie double at 1.
There it is.
The weekday lineup.
Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And Tuesdays. And Thursdays.
Weekdays from 10 on Hallmark.
Can a child's love mend a broken family? Have the tissues at the ready for Little John. That's our movie in an hour. But first on Hallmark, let's pick up on yesterday's cliffhanger in Seventh Heaven.
Movies 24 has so many great TV movies. We've handpicked our extra special favourites to make sure you never end up missing them.
Nothing you couldn't handle, I'm sure.
That's why we started Movie of the Week, so you'll always know where to find our very best.
I salute you.
Same day, same time, same place, every week.
Can we talk about this?
We love these movies.
What a pleasure, what a pleasure.
And we just know you'll love them too. Check out our top picks for June. Christopher Lee and Kim Cattrall are in for some bad luck in Double Vision. Plot twists galore in My Sister's Keeper. Things go bump in the night with Past Tense. And Neve Campbell and Jeremy Irons lose their heads and their balance in Last Call.
Truly beautiful.
Make a regular date with Movie of the Week.
Hi, honey. I'm home.
Monday at 8:30 on Movies 24.
Everything I do, somebody see me, I can't hide it. Tell it. Everything I do, somebody see me, I can't hide it. Ooh.
If you're looking forward to summer, but not to wearing your swimsuit, take the Special K Summer Challenge. Eat 2 bowls for 2 meals for 2 weeks and see if you can get slimmer for summer.
Somebody see me, tell it. Somebody see me.
Don't let a sensitive bladder slow you down. New Tenor Lady Ultra Mini Plus is as discreet as a panty liner, yet has the absorbency of a towel. The unique quick dry top sheet whisks away moisture and odour. In fact, nothing takes away the worry of a sensitive bladder quite so quickly. For millions of women, the secret is Tenor.
Wendy, what are you up to now?
Wendy Richard, human cannonball.
Is that not a bit dangerous?
No, not at all. I've always done my own stunts.
Well, what can we do for you, Wendy?
I'm in need of some life insurance.
You've come to the right place.
We've a fantastic scheme for the over 50s. Plans start at only £7 a month.
No medicals required and acceptance is guaranteed.
I'll give it a try.
Great, you just fill in the form. Wendy,
The People's Over 50s Life cover at the People's Post Office, now with £50 cashback. Nice and Easy transforms your hair colour with an expert blend of subtle tones. For beautiful, natural-looking hair colour, it's a small change to your hair that makes a big change to your head. So be a shade braver. Nice and Easy, be a shade braver.
Is this going to take much longer, love?
No. It won't go long now.
Still 0-0. It looks like extra time and even penalties.
I get mine when he's otherwise occupied.
WilliamHillBingo.tv with a double cash match when you join, big cash prizes and a massive online community. When will you get your William Hill Bingo thrill?
2, 6, 26.
Get in!
The cat's whiskers.
We've just been voted the #1 bank on the high street for customer satisfaction. So, we'd like to say...
Thanks.
Switch to Current Account Plus today. Phone our UK call centre on 0800 90 50 90. The Cooperative Bank. Good with money and customers too.
Hello, mate. New Resolver 24H Weed Killer. Gives you visible results in 24 hours. Resolver your weed problem.